Hey guys, welcome to Craving for Baking. Today we are going to be making some delicious chocolate chip banana loaf or cake, and this is one of the most amazing types of banana cakes I've ever made. It's so delicious, you guys. You have to try this. So here are the ingredients so we can get started making this delicious and amazing recipe. So here I have 2 bananas and they are ripe. You want to make sure that your bananas are very ripe. Even a little bit of freckles would be ripe enough, but just don't make sure you go to the shop and get like the green ones or the perfectly yellow ones. Make sure you get them really ripe, otherwise it won't work for this recipe. So now we're going to start peeling our bananas, and your bananas may or may not be bruised, but don't worry, if they don't look exactly like this is fine. Make sure you just peel your bananas, then you can go ahead and break them up into smaller pieces and put them into another bowl. So here I'm using my fork to mash up these bananas, and I did break up all 2 of them. So then you just want to go ahead and set that aside. Now we can start on our actual batter. So into this large bowl, I'm going to be adding in my sugar, followed by my unsalted butter, which was at room temperature, but it was a little bit hard to work with. But yeah, you just want to make sure that your butter is at room temperature and give that a really nice mix until it looks something like this, and it should be very light and creamy. So now that our butter and sugar are nicely creamed, you can go ahead and add in your mashed bananas. And then mix that in until you get something that looks a bit like this. And trust me, this isn't the most appealing thing to look at, but once you add in the flour, it'll be perfectly fine. So just ignore this right now. Then you can go ahead and crack in 1 egg, and that's perfect for this recipe. You only need 1 egg. Mix that in, and then we can move on to the next step. So I've added in my vanilla extract, and I'm going to give that a really nice mix to make sure it's nice and incorporated. And then you just want to make sure it looks something like this, and then we can move on. So now I've got my flour mixed with my baking powder. I'm going to go ahead and mix that in using a whisk. Of course you can do this with a spatula, and you can do this with a handheld whisk or a stand mixer. But you know, this is really easy. It's such an easy and amazing recipe, so you don't really need all of that fancy equipment. So you want to make sure that that's nice and mixed in. Then you can go ahead and add in your chocolate chips and mix that in. I switched to a spatula to mix the chocolate chips in just because I didn't want to break them up. Then you can go ahead and add in your batter once it's complete, and you can put it inside of your tray, which I have floured and greased and lined with parchment paper. So at this point you just want to make sure that you spread the batter evenly across the tin. You don't want your cake to bake lopsided, so you want to put that cake into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about an hour. And yes, this cake doesn't take a long time to bake, but that's just how it is. Make sure that you keep checking it though, so you don't overcook it. And then once that's done, you can leave it to cool or leave it until it's just warm, and then you can peel the parchment paper off as best as you can. I did it eventually though. And then you can slice it to serve. So you can serve this with ice cream or anything you want. You can drizzle some more chocolate over it if you want to. You know, just make it like an amazing recipe that you can share with everyone. But you know, I'd suggest you don't, because this cake will be eaten within minutes. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you try this recipe out, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.